Going to be doing my makeup to match my Christmas Disney ears. It's a little past the season, but it's still winter, so it kind of goes. I truly have no idea what I'm going to do for today's makeup look. I am not leaving the house today, so I can get a little bit creative and do some things. We'll try some things. But it should be a fun or interesting or both live stream. But let's get into it. Of course, my skin's already been prepped. I already have my skincare done. It's been sitting. That is super, super important for your makeup to look flawless. So let's just go in right away with a primer. So I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Redness Eraser. This is a primer. It has 4% niacinamide, so it oil controls as well, but mainly it is for color correction. And I feel like I really want like a very like dewy look today. And this primer is okay. It works better as a color corrector than a primer, in my opinion. Like if I needed my makeup to stay, I would either be layering this or I would just pick something else to use. Okay. So now that that is rubbed in, let's do some eyelid primer. We're going to just do a little dab of the Urban Decay. And just a tiny bit, if I can get just a little out. There we go. I just need a little tiny dab of it. So I don't know what colors I want to do today. I don't know if I wanted to do red or green or what. Like I said, I truly have no like vision for today's makeup. Usually I do. Usually I start with at least something. So for my base shadow, I'm going to go in with a white, and hopefully it's not too pigmented. But I'm going to be going in with this white one right here. This is the ColourPop palette. All of my palettes pretty much are all ColourPop because they're quality and they're affordable. I did recently place a ColourPop order, and a lot of the stuff that is new was being made in other countries now, which is a downside for me because I really loved this company because they were made in the USA and super affordable. So I supported them for that. But if they're not going to be making this stuff here anymore, I ought to find another US based company to support. Okay, so that looks a little bit blotchy. I wasn't sure how I would like this. That's also partly my fault because I didn't rub in the eyelid primer properly. Yeah, white is tricky to work with. It's giving blotchy, so. A lot of the pigment picked up where the primer is, but then it left it very sheer where there's no primer. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay. Now for the green, I guess we're doing green today. Let's see. I have this super pretty Grinchmas palette that I have not used at all. And I'm thinking we can use it today. It's really pretty, but I feel like there's a different green that I'm looking for. I want like a matte green. Let's see if it's in here. This is the Haunted Mansion ColourPop palette. Let's watch a little bit of this. And let's see how this looks. No, that's gray. Okay, no, none of those either. It's harder to find this green than I thought. Let's see if it's in the Pokemon palette. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's going to be in this one. So I have a whole green selection here. So I'm going to go in with that deep one, I think. Or maybe not. Let's do the matte. We're going to do this one right here first. So let's just lay a little bit of that down. I'm going to use this brush right here. I'm going to bring it up a little higher than usual. Usually I stay a little bit lower than that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, I'm not sure how that's looking. Let's do the other side. This eye is my problem child eye. This one always gives me a little bit of fuss. Okay, sort of. It's coming together a little bit. Put a little bit more in this corner to match it up a little. I still feel like this side needs more. Okay, okay. Well, I'm probably going to use this palette still, so I'm not going to put it way away completely. Let me swatch out this color right next to it and see how that one looks. I'm not feeling that one. So I just did a little swatch of this one to see how it looked. But it's not as green as I was hoping. It's pulling a little blue, which actually the blue might complement the green pretty well. But let's see what else we have here. Running out of options here. Okay, we're gonna go back to the Toy Story palette. I'm gonna use this little pastel green right there. And same thing with that same brush. I'm gonna just grab a little bit. And place it right on top of that green that's there already without going too far out to the edge. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good for me. Now let's do some shimmer. Obviously, it wouldn't be me if there wouldn't be glitter. I'm thinking I'm gonna grab this shimmer one right here from the ColourPop palette. I mean, from the Pokemon ColourPop palette. Just clean my brush really quick and then dip it in there. Pull it in the center mainly. Drag it out a little bit to the outer. And I see an empty spot right here, so I'm just gonna fill that in. Okay, that's very similar to the shade I just laid down before, but this is just the shimmer version. Okay, it's coming together. Okay, don't know what I want to do for that inner corner yet. I don't know what color in my, see his little scarf has a little teal in it. So I was thinking of a little teal. Should we try it and see how it's gonna look? Let me grab a little bit. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush. So I'm gonna grab this one right here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this blue right there, kind of similar shade to his little scarf. And I'm just gonna put a little bit in the inner corner. Dragging it up to connect. And I'm purposefully leaving this little section right here bare. Okay. Okay. Then now we have to put some glitter in there. So let's see what glitter we can put. This one's pretty nice. I like this one. Let's try that one. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I'm very carefully laying that down right in that little bare spot. I don't want it to migrate too much. I want it pretty much right there. Okay. Okay. It's giving peacock. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. What are we going to do for the top? Let's see how this looks. This is like a little silvery gray. I've never used this palette before, so I'm not too sure about the colors. So let's, actually, I think that should be good. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Gives a shimmer and a little color. Okay, so I am going to cut this a little bit and just sharpen up those wings right there before, or actually, what other colors do I have in here? Just really red. I don't want to do red. Yeah, those are kind of my only color options, are red and green and blue for my ears. Okay, well, let's try this blue right here, and we'll see how that looks. This could be an instant regret, or it could work out pretty nicely. I'm gonna grab a brow brush, dip it in there. So I'm trying to just give myself like a little bit of eyeliner with the shadow. Okay. Okay, so I stopped right in the center of my eye. I don't want to go too far uh to the inner. Let's do the other side now. The blue that's mixing in with that green is giving super peacock vibes now. Okay. This side definitely looks better than this side. I don't know what happened here. I'm telling you, this side's always my problem side. Okay, this side I'm not going to touch too much more. But it's giving peacock. I love it. It's super pretty. Okay, let's clean up those sides now, because we are done with the eyeshadow. So I'm going to take a Q-tip and then some makeup remover. Micellar water works just as well. And I have my makeup remover here in a tiny little, it's a little sample from Chanel, but I love keeping it in my drawer because it's so small. And takes up hardly any space at all. Went a little bit overboard with the makeup remover. Okay, we'll try and clean up as much of this as we can. Okay, because now I just have makeup remover everywhere. So let's grab a little wipey. Okay, there we go. That's so much better. I love this eye. This side, it looks better now that it's cleaned up, but still, it's not the same. They're never going to be the same. So don't be too hard on yourselves when you can't get your eyes to match up. They're sisters, but not twins, okay? Okay, now let's do foundation. I'm going to do... Oh, I wanted to try something with the foundation today. I want to add a little liquid highlighter in there. So let's do a little Tarte foundation. And then I'm gonna add this Fenty, it's the liquid kilowatt highlighter. This is in shade Sidekick or Side Chick. Side Chick. So I want to add a little bit to my face today and see how that looks. It's super it's super like a super shimmer once you blend it out. Like I said, I'm not leaving the house today. So this could be like a little makeup experiment day for me. Let's do a little foundation. Okay. Gotta clean this up. I hate having dirty bottles. Okay, perfect. So I'll put that away. I'm gonna use the same brush I used yesterday because I haven't decided if I like it or not. It's the Bare Minerals I got a little sample of it at Beauty World last year. So I think I'm deciding that I don't like this brush. Yeah, I'm gonna finish blending it out with something else. This one isn't working. Okay, so that one, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Gonna add a little bit of hydrating mist to my brush. Put a little bit too much there. I didn't see the primer that I used was this one. And like I was saying in the beginning, it doesn't really work as a primer. So like I have no foundation on my nose right there. And it's already coming up right here. So that is definitely just a color corrector. Because as a primer, that just doesn't work. I'm trying to see how I like that kilowatt in my foundation. I think I like it. It gives that dewy look, which is what I was wanting, which is why I added it. Okay, now I just need a little bit more foundation on my nose because I have like nothing there. A little bit too much. So I'm going to dip that. And then again, a little dip. Okay. So my eyes right here have foundation too much towards. I'm just going to wipe away that little excess foundation. Then I'm also going to try to clean this area up. It just has foundation a little bit too. It's super cleaned up now. A little bit too much, I think. Okay, and then now before my foundation dries too much on this brush, I'm just gonna go back in and redisperse a foundation where I removed it, but now it's just a lot less because I had just had too much right there. Okay, and then the eyeshadow we can fix. But now I don't have so much foundation right there. A little bit, I still have a little bit right there. Okay, I think that's good now. So we'll go in and fix this little inside with the eyeshadow when we're done. But now I just don't have like a bunch of foundation there like I did before. Okay, now let's do some blush. Let's do I don't want something too pink today. I want something a little bit more mauve. What do I have in here? Let's try this one. This one is super, super pink, but I kind of feel like it would go with the look. Oh, I forgot to do my concealer. Okay, yeah, this is super, super pink. And I guess it's a good thing I forgot to do concealer because then I can kind of fix this a little bit. A little bit too pink for me. Yeah, I don't love that. Okay, so we're gonna have to fix that. Okay. Should have just gone with my first instinct, which was the mauve and not too pink. Let's do a little color corrector. And I'm gonna mix that in with a little Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm gonna do I want to do a little bit there and a little bit there. Let's blend this out. What do I want to use to blend this? Ooh, I like this one for blending. I like the little feathers in this one. It's a It brush. but I like that it's also straight. So it really just blends in right where you want it to go. It just takes a little bit of time. You got to be patient with her. So I think I did like that liquid kilowatt in my foundation. It did give me the look that I wanted, which was like very dewy, very hydrated. Okay. And then I'm going to do a touch. This is like a shade, super, super light shade. So I'm not going to put too much under my eye because it'll gray. And then I'm going to do color corrector. Let's blend those two together with my new favorite brush. It took me a while to find an under eye brush that I really loved. But this one works. I like how quickly it disperses all the makeup, but then it gives you a really flawless look too. Okay, there we go. Okay, better. Okay, the blush we're gonna have to fix. It's too much for me. Let's do a little powder foundation over that. It's really gonna matte me down right there, which sucks. But let's just see. I'm gonna grab this brush right here, dip it in to my Bare Minerals loose powder. And that brought that down so much. So before, after. Might as well put a little touch right there. Okay, yeah, that's too much for me. I would never. This side is more my style. A little bit more on this side. This side still has a little bit more, but it looks so much better than it did before. I think this side has a little bit more blush on there, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. I don't want to put too much of foundation on because then it's gonna give cakey and nobody wants that. So let's put that away. Whatever's left. Of that foundation, I'll just dab up there. So that really brought down my glow, but it also brought down the pink, which is what I wanted. And now it looks just so much more natural. So let's do a little bronzer now. This is a liquid bronzer. It's super light. It's an old Tarte one. Okay, there we go. This is how it looks beforehand, which looks like it would be like dark enough to give a little something. But then once I blend it out, it completely disappears. A little bit more there. And then I'm going to use this brush. It's not a blending brush, but I use it for blending. So therefore, it is a blending brush. I just realized it was a bad idea to put this on top of the powder. I forgot I did the powder. Okay, so there's a little bit of dimension there, but without being like, hey, I'm here. So because we're doing this on top of powder, we just have to be super careful to press it in and not drag at all. Okay. So I think down here I was okay. I don't think I did any powder down there. Okay. So that's done. What else do we need to do besides highlighter? Brows. Let's do brows really quickly. I'm going to do the same brows I did yesterday. So I'm just going to fill in very lightly and very quickly. So a very light fill. Mainly focusing on the areas that you know are really sparse. And then I did give myself a little bit longer of a tail. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good. I was going to do the gel. I think I still will. Let's do a little Gimme Brow, the Benefit Gimme Brow, right on top of that. Okay. Okay. Let's do, let me see how my under eyes are looking. Not great, to be honest. Where's, here she is. Okay. Not great, but she could have been worse. Let's see. Now what are we going to do? Highlighter? No, setting powder. Let's do our setting powder first. Let's do not that one. Let's do some Bare Minerals. Haven't used her in a little bit. Okay. So now that she is set, hopefully I don't have any more creasing than I already do. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna fix my eyes now because it's a little bit too harsh of a line for me right there. So I'm gonna just go in and touch that up really lightly. Using this brush again, taking in that teal that we used earlier, just a little touch of it. And just trying the best we can with that because I removed the eyelid primer as well right there. So you're gonna see a little bit less pigmentation on the new application. So you just kind of got to work to blend that line in as best as you can. Okay, see, we're making progress. So this eye look turned out to be very peacock, which is not intentional. Not complaining though. Okay. You can still see the line a tiny bit there. And then I'm also going to go back in with that gray that we used for the brow. I'm going to just drag that down a little bit too. Same brush. And then just a little dip in there. Maybe a little bit more. Right here. Okay. I kind of feel like I want a little bit more on my brow. It's gray and it's giving what I wanted it to. But since we're here, I think I could add a little bit of something, something. Let's see. What do I have in here? I'm gonna add a little highlighter. So I'm gonna take this highlighter right here, dip it, and then just put it right there. Just to give you a little bit more shine, a little bit more dimension. I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but it does make a difference right there, adding it to the highest part. Okay. I'm also gonna take not that one. I'm gonna take this brush, super, super fine, and I'm also gonna put a little bit of that teal just on that bottom lash line right there. So staying away from the teal that's in the center, I mean, in the inner eye. Adding it there. I'm gonna add a little bit of that blue shimmer that we used for this part right there. Bring that in. Same thing on this side. And then for this inner part right here, I'm gonna do let's try this one right here. It's a shimmer, and I did swatch it earlier, and it gave a lot of blue pigment in there. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Same thing to the other side. Okay. Okay, so I think we're finally done with the eyes. And then we did our setting powder already, so then we can do a little highlighter. I'm gonna do the Fenty Balm, the How Many Carats, again, because of the glitter. So we're pressing that in there. Okay, and then my under eye is already creased, and I don't have this problem as much when I do primer under my eyes. So I got some creasing there. I didn't do the primer under my eyes today. So what else do I need to do? Lip? Oh, mascara. Let's try. I'm trying to find a new mascara because I threw away the ones I've been using. So last year, I'd been kind of switching back and forth between Chanel and the YSL. The YSL is my favorite, but I threw those away because I cleaned out my makeup drawer in January. Like January, the first few days, I wanted to clean it out, reorganize it. So let's try, this is the Monsieur Lash from Lancome. No, I'm not going to use it. I used it yesterday, and I didn't like the brush. So let's do the Clinique instead. Okay, a little bit better. This is the Clinique, the High Impact Hi-Fi. And the first few times I used this mascara, I absolutely loved it. But now that it's gotten like a little bit of air and it's dried up a little bit, it's not my favorite. And I also feel like it dried up really fast. Like within 4 uses, it was already drying up. So not my favorite. Gonna be on the hunt for a new mascara this year. So that should be fun. I tried out 4 different ones yesterday and I didn't really like any of them. Let's do a little setting spray. Let's hydrate and set at the same time. So let that dry a little bit. Then let's do a little hydrating spray as well. Let that dry. Messed it up. I opened my eye too soon and I got spray in my eye. And then I closed my eye quickly after. And I messed up my makeup. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take just a little bit of the retouching fluid, the Hourglass one. They don't make this anymore. I'm gonna put a little bit right there, right where I removed that makeup. Then I'm gonna blend it out. Where is the brush I just used? I'm gonna blend it out with this one because this is more of a precise. This is more of a precision concealer brush. I don't like it for blending, but for this it'll work because I need this just to stay very localized. So that's been blended out now. Okay. So I'm not going to do anything more with that. I'm just going to leave that because it already has that setting powder in there. So if I do a lot of liquid or if I try and do too much, it's just going to get like really thick and cakey. So we're not doing that, but I fixed it. Now you can't even tell. Now let's do lip. Oh, I think I want to do a red lip for this look. Yeah, because I think that if I do pink, Let's see. Let's try this combo and see how this is gonna look. I'm gonna go in with the red lip stain, the Ulta Beauty one. I'm gonna kind of use it as a liner and see how that works. Let me move you guys a little bit so I can use my mirror and you guys can see. So if you're new here, I shorten my lips so I never line all the way. Because my mouth just now, and so if I align all the way out, I look like very frowny, and also I don't like the like very wide mouth look. My face like is very small and compact, and so just to have very wide lips would look very strange on me. So I shorten my lips. But in turn, I don't have that frown. And I have done live streams where I've compared like half my face to like the trendy makeup where you line all the way around, and then this half I did it how I want to do my makeup, and this side just didn't look right. So I reassured myself that I'm not doing any harm by shortening my lips. It looks so much better. I'm gonna go in with the Liquid IV, the NYX lip stain. I'm gonna go in right on top of that. Okay. I think that is it. We are done with the look. That is going to be the look for today. It gave a very peacock, which I am not happy. I mean, I'm not upset about. It looks really good. It doesn't really match his little scarf, but I guess it does. But I'm happy with it. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your comments, and I'll see you in the next one.